Okay, Dutch, next up, something with AEW Dynamite from last week, because this episode is coming out on a Wednesday. It might get a bit confusing because we record on a Tuesday, but this is something we missed last week that was maybe the hottest topic in the podcasting world, and it is a bump that Jon Moxley took on AEW Dynamite on something he shouldn't have been landing on, so let's watch it together. Fucking thing. There we go. So tell us what we're seeing for the audio listeners.
Well, it looks like he hit him with that baseball bat and it laid there, and it's not a bat, what is it?
Like a 2x4 or a plank?
Something, and it's got all kind of, looks like a broom. Is that a broom?
No, that's a bed of nails.
A bed of nails, and it's stuck in his back. Well,
so have you seen this or not?
Yeah, I've seen it, but I was trying to figure out what that was. That is nails? And so he landed on a bed of nails.
Yes. That are now impaled in his back because they're like the rough, and then notchy nails.
I will say one thing. At least they got, what's that guy's name in there now?
Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, they got it. Yeah.
Did you see that one set? Look how much his skin is stretching.
Yep.
I don't even know how like barbs they actually like stuck in there, but yeah.
I'll tell you how much, because since they're put together so much, I mean, you can do that without, if that was one nail, it'd go all the way through. If it's two nails, it'd go all, but they got all of them together. So he may have 30 nails in his back, and that's why they don't go any farther, because it stops it. But that's a pretty gutty move by Jon Moxley. But I'm thinking now,
have you ever seen anything like that? Because I'm not sure I have. One more time.
No, I've never seen. Well, I have, but I haven't.
Not to that extent.
No, I saw a lot of crazy stuff on some of these independent shows I've been on, but not like that. And plus, I was in Puerto Rico. They had a lot of crazy stuff down there. But I'm thinking, I don't know how they're going to, it's according to how they treat Moxley from this point on out. Okay, will you see him on AEW TV this week?
We won't know. It'll be out later today as this is released, so we won't know.
But you wouldn't see him in a match, would you? Okay, I'm saying as a fan, how do you expect to see, if they're going to do this, they need to play it. He's going to come later. But I think he does need to come later, but he needs to come showing the effects of whatever happened here and build it up. and he pleads that I'm gonna get, what was his name?
Well,
he's not Ed, he's Cope.
Copeland, yeah.
He's going to get Cope for this. So if they're going to do this, they need to build it up and take it to the pay-per-view, and let's see what happens and what kind of match they're going to have.
What do you think of like extreme thing, graphic stuff like that? Because I made the point last week. Is it like if my 10-year-old niece watched that, she would have nightmares?
Yep. Oh, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm really not, because eventually you run out of things to shock people. This may have shocked people. And you're looking at it and you say, wait a minute. And my first thought is, that's not real nails. I thought, actually, I looked at it. It looked like a broom. That's what it looked like. But I don't know. We're going to have to see, but I don't think they're going to get a match that's going to have okay, let's say they have a match back. What are they going to do to Cope to even halfway equal that?
Bazooka?
Him pinning Cope is nothing. He's going to have to do something to him that he's bleeding or something. run him over with a tractor, I guess. I don't know. But, I mean, what's going to make the fans think that Moxley will get him back and get him back in a big way?
Well, the thing is that not only did Jon Moxley take that spikes in the back kind of thing, then he took a spear, and other people interfered to break up the pin, but then Jon Moxley still won.
He won the match?
Yes. Jon Moxley won the match with a lot of interference, but then eventually got up and then did that bulldog choke, and then Adam Copeland passed out, so Jon Moxley retained.
Hey, that should have been the end of the match right there.
Yeah, it wasn't. There was a couple more things they had to do.
That should have been the end of it. Tony, I'm trying to help you, kid. I'm trying to help you, but you're not going to, continue that on out. I don't know what your thought process on it was, but I would have ended it right then. I'd been the bells ringing and all this, and the doctor's in the ring, and you couldn't continue the match. That's all you got to do. Because if he works, okay, how do they get the nails out? Just pull them out?
Yeah, the referee, the nails were in his back for over a minute. I timed it. The referee eventually worked the nails out of his back. I mean, there's more points to make there. Is that look, they were embedded enough, even though there was quite a lot of them densely packed together. They were embedded enough that what if one of those nails got into his spine and paralyzed him?
No kidding.
Chris Bay before.
Yeah, no kidding. And what if you got an infection from those nails?
Yeah, they didn't look clean. And then I think he took back bumps on the canvas after it as well. So, yeah.
Well, I think you know who we need to call in on this. OSHA, the Occupational Safety Hazard Association. They come out on jobs, OSHA. And they said, well, your ladders has got to be this, and your ladders, you got to have all kind of your safety equipment in place. I would have brought a OSHA observer out there, ring the bell and stop, and I would have found Cope, and I'd have rushed him to the hospital, and that's what they should have done. They should have took him to the hospital. I mean, if you saw somebody on the job fall and some nails went in them, right? They're bleeding. They wouldn't bleed that much, but take them to the hospital. If they had more stuff in that match, see, I just saw that.
Oh no, there was more. Not that much more, but there was certainly more there. But I mean, I think like some of the wider points is like.
Wait a minute, where did they want that? Yeah, absolutely. If the sponsors get a lot of feedback off that, they didn't want to see it. This is a crazy business. I don't understand it. You don't understand it. The fans don't understand it. What understands it's money. And if these sponsors, they get a lot of feedback off this, well, they may wish they may have not have done this little segment. And I don't think that puts heat on Cope anyway. I really don't.
It's quite heroic of him to be able to rally back and win, despite the fact that he's the heel.
Well, anyway. So, wait a minute. Who won that match? You said
it's Moxley. Yeah, Moxley won, yeah.
Well, I don't think it helped him even winning it. He got that in his back. I don't know. Hey, I don't know everything, but I would say I wouldn't. If I was booking, I wouldn't, and I would never think of doing that angle. You know where that angle come from?
No.
One of the two, either Moxley or Cope.
Yeah.
Came up with it. They went to Tony. I'm saying this is what I think happened. They went to Tony with it, and they laid it all out for him. I like it. Let's do it. That's what they did. Because when you hear something like that and somebody we've never done it before, it's earth shattering, and it's we're going across that third bell or cloud or whatever. He may have been talked into doing it, but I don't see where that's marketable in a big way. I really don't.
Do you know, as the foremost living booker, Dutch Mantell, I would like to ask you this question. Is this something that you came up with time and again? Is where someone would suggest something, maybe something extreme like this, and then would your question be, Okay, and then what do you follow it up with?
Oh, yeah.
And then they never have an answer with what do you follow it up with?
No, well, they don't think that far. You know, what Moxley has to do is, if he won the match, he wouldn't hurt that bad. But I would have given him some time off and talk the match. Talk about it a little bit, then have the match. I mean, Moxley doesn't need to be on that TV every week. Now, up to this point, Moxley, he was unbeaten almost. He beat them all. And all of a sudden, he do this, and he still wins. So what can stop him? Nothing. He has to be vulnerable, and him going through the nails made him vulnerable. And I think he gets pinned with the nails in his back, if that's possible.
They took him out, and then there was two pin attempts that were interrupted by other members of the Death Riders.
Now, the best thing, they should have run everybody in. They never seen anything like this. It's too brutal, and take the cameras off, and we can't show this. But you can show the people going in and loading him on that gurney and taking him out. But you have to put him face down. You can't put him with his back down he probably had some blood, but not a lot, because, the blood is down below. You learn, I learned that, because, if it goes deep, you bleed a lot. If you don't, it just bleeds a little bit. So I guess maybe a medical student can tell me that. But to me, I see nothing wrong with the angle. I think they handled it wrong.
I'm surprised. I actually thought that in the UK showing, which shows like 3 or 4 days after, which is really annoying, to be honest, that they would have edited it out. But because it shows so late, it shows like late evening, they actually left it in, which I actually was surprised by. I thought they'd edit it out or blur it or something, but they didn't bother. So, I don't know, maybe it's just getting more sensitive.
You hear anybody talking about it?
Oh, well, yeah, I did, Stevie did, other people did, Jim Cornette did. It's actually funny. I actually checked out Jim Cornette's video. I didn't listen to it. I couldn't be bothered. And not that I didn't want to listen to it. It's 20 minutes. So I didn't have the time. And loads of his comments are talking about you should hear what Stevie Richards has to say. And then on Stevie's video, loads of comments are saying, I can't wait to see what Jim Cornette says about it. so it's
That's
just
good.
a weird incestuous kind of thing with absolutely two videos not working with each other.
Well,
I was going to see what Dutch is saying about it now.
They worked hard, and I have nothing against the angle. It's different, totally different. But see, I've never been a big fan of that hardcore stuff. You can only take it so far. You can only take the blood and guts and the blood, the juice so far, and then you hit the wall. They've seen it before. And if this, if a guy's bleeding like a damn broken sieve, what else you going to follow that with? If that don't stop him, what are they going to do next time? Shoot him? Bam! And then he'd come back, and he would got a 38 bullet in his gut, and he pins the guy.
Yeah, probably. It depends if he falls forward or not. So if he falls forward, onto
but
his
if I was the heel, I would be smart. I'd shoot him, and then he would get the gun, and he'd try to shoot me, and guess what? No bullets in it. I only had one.
This is Russian roulette then.
Thinking ahead, always thinking ahead.